Okay, something for the people with a sweet tooth. I'm going to make some flapjacks. They're not healthy. It's not a healthy option. There's a lot of sugar and a lot of butter, but there is a lot of oats in it, which are good for lowering cholesterol, and they keep you full throughout the day. So if you're having something as a snack, or if you're using it for a lunchbox or something, rather than having a Mars bar or whatever, it's slightly healthier. Okay then, so these are the ingredients. I've weighed this out into the pan because it's easier than weighing it into a bowl. It's golden syrup. There's 330 grams or 330 mils, because they're the same thing, of golden syrup in a pan there. And then there's 330 grams of porridge oats, and then 250 grams of butter margarine. What I've done here, you can use all margarine, which is the cheaper option, but you end up with a softer, more crumbly flapjack. If you do it all butter, which is more expensive, it's a firmer one with a bit more flavour. So what I've done here, I've done 200 grams of margarine and 50 grams of butter. So that will help the butter hold it together at the end when it's cooked, and the margarine's a little bit cheaper. I've also got a bit of salt, and I've got some ginger here, ground ginger. If you don't like ginger, then it's optional. It just adds a bit of flavour to it. You can also add, if you've got some chocolate chips lying around, or some dried fruit like sultanas or raisins, you can put a few of them in. I'll get to that later on, or even diced apple or anything like that. So anyway, what I'm going to do now, all I'm going to do is literally put all the butter and the margarine in with the syrup, and then just put it on the oven, heat that through on a medium heat until all the butter and the fat has melted and it just starts to bubble. Okay, so all the butter and margarine's melted, it's just starting to bubble. Like I said, you don't want it to come to the boil because then it'll start caramelising, and when you do actually cook them out, they'll set so high you'll break your teeth on them. Okay, so everything else nice and simple. Everything else just goes in the pan now. So all the oats. I found an apple, so I've done a small diced apple, just peeled it and diced it into little chunks. Put that in. Like I said, you can put sultanas or chocolate chips or anything else you might have lying around. There's a pinch of ginger. Again, that's optional. If you don't want any ginger in it, don't put any in. And then a good pinch of salt. And then just mix all that together till everything's coated with the syrup and the butter. Now, it might look a little bit sloppy now, especially with when the margarine was melted. It looked like a lot of liquid, but as this cooks, the oats will soak all this into the oats, and then when it sets, it will be nice and chewy. And what I've got here is a 10-inch square baking tray. Again, you can use a ceramic dish or a round one if you've got a quiche dish or something like that. And then just enough greaseproof paper to go over the edge on each side. And I'm just going to tip all that into the middle. Press it out into the corners and get it an even thickness all the way around. You don't need to press it down too tight. Just make sure you get it right to the edges. Okay. I've had an oven preheating to 180, and I'm going to put these in for 25 minutes, so we'll come back when they're ready. Right, these have been in the oven now for 25 minutes. There we are. I'm going to leave this now on here just to cool down for about 10 minutes, just so before I mark out the flapjacks. If you do it straight away, it's too soft. So I'm going to leave them for 10 minutes and then just mark them out into the flapjack shapes. Okay, so now this has cooled down for 10 minutes or so. I'm just going to use an ordinary a little knife just to mark out. And there we have it, 9 nice sized flapjacks. Cost me £1.80 in total for the ingredients, so they cost 20p each, which is a third or a quarter of the price of a Mars bar or something, and they'll fill you up for a bit longer as well.